Hello guys, it has been a while. Of course, not been posting lately because of some issues that of course I cannot avoid. But of course we are back again, and of course this is Sema and Mwita, and we're here to address, or rather I give my opinion on what I feel about what has been trending on the recent murder of Albert from Nyanza, to be specific. So I know everybody has heard that Albert is a resident in Nyanza, and he was murdered in a cold blood by the Kenya police. And of course, the story began, when police went to fetch him particularly in Nyanza, that is Homa Bay, and they headed to Nairobi. And of course, the distance between Homa Bay and Nairobi is like quite wrong, over 300 kilometers. But for this matter, they had to fail him to Nairobi. And Albert is a special case because this son is the only son in the family. And according to how the father gave out his responses, that he had suffered a lot to ensure that Albert gets education, and at the end of the day he'll come to the rescue of the family. But the dreams of the father has been cut short, and what led actually to the arrest and brutal murder of Albert is the information that he published in his social media concerning on the corruption that is going on in the office of Deputy Inspector General of Police, that is Bona Langat. And that offended Langat, and then he said his boys, and eventually Albert was murdered, something that they denied. At first, of course, they released some statement that Albert actually committed suicide. But according to the last calls of Albert wouldn't be the person that will commit suicide because first, he's a newly wedded. He has a young family to take care of, and he's somebody, of course, who had something to live off, because we cannot rule that actually he committed suicide. And according to the post-mortem result that came out yesterday, it clearly outlined that Albert was indeed murdered by the oppressors. And in this case, there were police. And according to the information, of course, has been declared in today's session in the Senate by IPOA, they have clearly ruled out that the CCTV in the Central Police were tampered up. So this was a calculated move. The murder of Albert was a calculated move. And my take on this whole narrative is that we have to come together as a country and say no to this injustice and to this impunity behavior. Today it is Albert. Today it might be your sister, your brother being murdered by this rogue regime. So Albert is yet another statistic, and we can see some psychopath, self-proclaimed leaders, defending a DIG Langard that is purely innocent. It doesn't happen. Some are even pinpointing that it is Gachagua who is behind this murder, so that he can paint the government bad. But actually, they're running away from this because that is not the fact. Because Langat himself was the complainant in the arrest of Albert. So that's my take, guys. But the big question is, what is your take on this murder of Albert? Do you think that the DIG Langat should resign so that he allows a swift sort of an investigation without interference, or he should remain in office? point, or rather comment in the comment section below. And of course, I'll make sure that I read and respond your comment. Till next time, wonderful people, stay safe and stay guided. Peace.